Alright everyone, some more budget magic action. Playing Eldrazi Aggro. And one lander. I don't think we can keep the one lander. I guess that's sorta better. We can keep Nomad Outpost. So this isn't the worst hand I've ever seen. Also not the best. Haven't changed up the deck yet, considering cutting down on storm surges and reconfiguring a little bit, but maybe after this match. I wanted to give it another run through as is. I think it's important, like, in the last game we drew so many swarm surges and it felt so bad, and I think it's important not to let one situation like that shift your view on the entire deck. Oh, this might be a mirror match, or the same match as last time, not a mirror match. Well, we're going to get in with Sludge Crawler. If our opponent blocks, we can pump and kill it. If they don't block, we can pump anyway. Good news is we get to ingest a polluted delta, which means sooner or later this Wasteland Strangler should be able to kill something. Having tapped Nomad Outpost is a little depressing. That means we might be stuck doing nothing again next turn. Unless we draw an untapped land. No, still drawing Swarm Surges. Alright, let's get in with Sludge Crawler. Pump it again, since we still can't cast anything. Ingest a Murderous Cut, Nomad Outpost. Now we're likely going to have to Wasteland Strangler to kill the Jace, because we really don't want that to flip. Opponent loots with Jace. Pitches a Flooded Strand, plays a Flooded Strand. Dragonlord Ochitai. It's a tough one for us to beat too, especially with a slow start like this. And we're still drawing multiple Storm Surges. A Morph. So that's probably Stratus Dancer, I would assume. But we are going to get to Wasteland Strangler to kill that Jace, which is good. Could have went for the attack first and probably got in some free damage. But we don't really want to lose either creature. Now you can play Nomad Outpost. I don't think we're completely out of this game, but we're not in a great position either. Storm Surge is a powerful effect, but if an Ojitai or something like that comes down, we're pretty far behind the 8-ball. So we're probably going to be looking for Duststalker next turn. Oh. That's a Den Protector. This is a 4-color deck, and our opponent is getting back a Flooded Strand. So, to me, that says they probably have Ochitai in hand, and they're just trying to get the mana necessary to cast it. No attacks. Alright, well, we are going to... Well, I guess we just Duststalker. Swing with Wasteland Strangler and Duststalker. Yeah, blocks and trades. Drops to 15. You get to play Bloodfell Caves. Pass the turn. So, if we fix or switch around the deck a little bit, think more non-conditional removal is at the top of our list. Because we don't have good ways to deal with Dragon Lords and other big things. Our main removal is Titan's Presence, which is good for killing little things, but has some downsides. Well, I think we're just going to play... Well, we're going to attack with both. Does our opponent have Dragon Lord's Prerogative? What else would lead to this pass here with 6 mana up? We'll attack with both. We get to ingest. We hit a Exert Influence. Now we will Dominator Drone. Puts our opponent to 10. Forerunner of Slaughter. Alright, so we're hoping our opponent doesn't have a Wrath. That would be bad. And then we can Swarm Surge next turn and deal a bunch of damage. Really curious what our opponent was passing with. I guess it could just be Dig, is probably most likely. But still, that means they didn't have a 4-mana play. Because I could have dug. They had 6 cards in the graveyard. Could have cast Dig and exiled everything and still had 4 mana up to play something. So that was still an odd sequence. Not exactly sure what this deck is. I'm guessing like 5-color Jeskai, basically. But we haven't seen a lot of things. Well, now probably the best thing that could happen would be that our opponent did play an Ojutai. If our opponent plays an Ojutai, then we are pretty close to being able to Storm Surge our way to victory. Or Swarm Surge. Siege Rhino is big. Does our opponent also have removal? Alright, let's see if we can draw untap land. Titan's Presence, pretty much a dead card. Well, we will Swarm Surge. Swing with everyone. Actually, not everyone. We can't attack with Sludge Crawler. They have removal, too. Abzan Charm, alright. Well, now they don't technically have to block. Although dropping to 2 might seem risky. Alright, they block with Soulfire. We put them to 7. Now we just ship the turn and hope that there's not another Siege Rhino. And we can finish the game off with another Swarm Surge. Sarkhan Dragon Speaker. Alright. It's not the end of the world. Kills one of our creatures. Now we draw land. Guess we just play the land. And do we just have to pass? Well, let's Swarm Surge again. Attack with Wasteland Strangler. If our opponent wants to trade, they might feel like they have to trade their Siege Rhino so they don't get killed by a Wild Slash, which we don't have, of course, but they don't know that. So, yeah, they're assuming that we have a Wild Slash, or playing around a Wild Slash. So we get to get rid of the Siege Rhino. And technically, we have lethal on board again. Yep. They didn't even attack with Sarkhan. I mean, the odds that they dug and didn't hit anything, okay, they hit another Rhino. Of course. And we get, oh, a dead Titan's Presence. Oh, that was the worst draw. Yeah, I'm going to change, I think I'm going to have to change things up a little bit between rounds. Well, we get to kill the Siege Rhino, maybe. Actually, I'm expecting we get blown out here, but not much we can do about it. Gotta try it. Pump the Sludge Crawler, and then I'm expecting our opponent to have some sort of removal spell to ruin our day. Oh yeah, Wild Slash, alright. Oh, again. Frustrating. So against this deck, we can bring in Murderous Cuts and Grip to deal with big creatures. Take out Titan's Presence, I guess, and just try it like that. So we really want to get off to a fast start. Well, this isn't exactly it. I get to Ghost Fireblade on turn 1. But we would rather have a creature to equip with the Ghost Fireblade. Creature? Endless One. Alright, so we will... think we'll just Endless One X2. Then we can equip it up with Ghost Fireblade next turn. And also play Nomad Outpost. Either that or we play Vile Aggregate. That might be better. Our opponent did not crack their fetch land. Another Wooded Foothills. So the question is, attack for 2 and play Vile Aggregate? Or attack for 4 and play nothing? I think we have to just attack for 2 with Endless One. Alright, puts our opponent down to 18, play Swamp, play our Vile Aggregate. And then we're set up to do quite a bit of damage next turn. Opponent's going to hurt themselves with their shocks a bit, which is good. Canopy Vista. Well, they only crack one. Maybe they're tight on lands. Their fetching habits are odd. Well, they have basic island. Well, they got basic forest, basic mountain. They are playing way more basics than I would expect. Alright, face down Den Protector. Ooh, man. Well, I guess we just gotta go for the gold. Duststalker. Attack with everything? They'll probably trade here and we hit them for 8. Is that good enough? Or do we leave? I guess we leave back Endless One for now. Now they either chump or take 8. That's definitely the better attack. We have them to 7. We get to ingest a Mantis Rider. We might have this one on lock, even through a Siege Rhino, actually, with our Swarm Surge. Cinderglade untapped. Do they have a Rhino? No Rhino. And they scoop it up. Sweet. And we would have another Ghostfire Blade on top. Alright, we're surviving. We got through. So they are like 5-color Jeskai. We're just going to submit again. I feel like this is a winnable matchup, but something's just not quite there. This hand is not horrible. 1-drop, 2-drop, Endless One, and a Murderous Cut. I can deal with that. Let's draw some more action, though. Alright, Sledge Crawler. At least we have a 1-drop. Sledge Crawler isn't great, but it is really beneficial to be able to ingest a card for our Wasteland Strangler. So it is nice to have the option to Sledge Crawler. So we can get in with Sledge Crawler. See, this is, well, assuming this hits. Alright, it hits, ingests a Polluted Delta. This is a dream scenario. Get to play Forerunner of Slaughter. Now if our opponent plays a face-down Den Protector, a Jace, even a Mantis Rider, we get to just kill it. Endless One. Alright, so in this case, I think we're just going to go Endless One X2, and then give Endless One haste. I think a 2/2 haste is better than a 3/3 that can't attack in this situation. We just really want to get our opponent to dead as fast as possible. And hitting for 6 here is a big help. So our opponent have Draconic Roar on Forerunner of Slaughter, revealing Dragonlord's a Slumgar. Alright. Well, we get in there, get to ingest another land, which our opponent wants. Smoldering Marsh. So our opponent's mana is wacky, but they're getting by. Radiant Flames clears off the board. Well, I guess we just play Forerunner of Slaughter, give it Self-Haste, Bloodfell Caves. Alright, we got our opponent down to 12, and their mana is a little iffy. We might be getting there. That's what we want to be doing, is punishing these decks that are trying to play 5 colors. Trying to cast Dragonlord Slumgar, and Mantis Rider, and Siege Rhino, all in the same deck. So we want to get in under them. And I think the play will be next turn, if they don't play anything, I think it's Endless One X3, give it haste, attack with both. They got the land. This could mean a Siege Rhino's coming down. Which actually, the first Siege Rhino probably isn't deadly because we can Murderous Cut it. It does undo a bit of our work, but... Ooh, Duststalker. Well, we just gotta... I think we just Murderous Cut. Attack with Forerunner, put our opponent to 12, and play Endless One X2 to have another body out there. And that's a body that can still attack into Siege Rhino thanks to a Wasteland Strangler. Alright, now we get to Duststalker, which will put our opponent down to 7 unless they have another removal spell. Alright, they have a Wild Slash, which actually isn't that bad. That means we just get to Ball Lightning, or actually Sandstalker, in our Duststalker. What does our opponent have now? Soulfire? Alright, well, we are doing the same thing, putting our opponent to 1 in theory with Duststalker. Our opponent's going to block this time. Alright, play the Nomad Outpost. Till our opponent plays something that stops us from doing this, we will keep doing it. Alright, same plan. Duststalker. In some ways, this is actually better. We don't get hit by Radiant Flames and other sorcery speed removal. And we got there. Sweet! Eldrazi Aggro taking it down. Alright, be back with another.